Canadians stuck in Mexico during Hurricane Patricia are finally heading home. Flights have resumed at Puerto Vallarta's airport. The storm that promised to deliver a punch barely left a ripple in the resort town. But travelers are returning home with stories of nights spent in evacuation centers. Arthi Pole is in Puerto Vallarta tonight speaking to some of those travelers. Arthi?
Robin, 72 hours ago, many of these hotels along the water were evacuated. Now, after Hurricane Patricia has passed through, guests are returning to a much calmer scene. Meanwhile, many Canadian tourists whose flights were canceled are finally flying home today with an experience they won't forget. Anxiously waiting to get onto planes, hundreds of Canadians lined up in Puerto Vallarta's airport. They never thought they'd be so happy to leave paradise.
Very relieved to go home. We were very worried and we were scared. I was scared.
Melanie Perkins and her friends were among one group of Canadians who were sent to spend Friday in a makeshift shelter in the conference room of their hotel while waiting for Hurricane Patricia to hit.
When they said it was like the strongest storm in history, then we started panicking a little bit.
Today, flights resumed out of the city which dodged the predicted monster hurricane. WestJet says 700 passengers were booked on its flights to get out of Puerto Vallarta today. Flights were cancelled ahead of the hurricane making landfall. The breaks from Newfoundland were forced to stay a few extra days in Mexico waiting for planes to start flying. While they spent several hours in a shelter in their hotel's parking garage on Friday, they say their thoughts were with family.
You think of your family back home and you know they're worried about you, and we're really wondering what's going to happen, and you don't know, you just got to sit and wait.
But some decided they couldn't sit and wait. This group from Vancouver packed up and tried to beat the storm Thursday night.
The whole hotel was being evacuated. Busloads were leaving in the middle of the night.
So at 1 a.m. they loaded a bus to Guadalajara, waiting to see where the storm would hit.
I think that was the worst part of this, was it happened so quickly and no one knew what was going to happen next.
The powerful hurricane hit a sparsely populated stretch of Mexico's Pacific coast before the system crashed into mountains. It's believed that may have weakened its potentially catastrophic force. Thousands of homes were damaged, more than 200,000 lost power, but thankfully there are no reports of deaths or injuries. Torrential rains did the most damage. Now cleanup is underway. While the damage isn't as devastating as initially feared, the recovery efforts will certainly take time. Here along the Pacific coast, debris continues to wash up on the shore from areas that were hit by the hurricane. Robin?
Arthi Pole in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.